Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk CNAs, a show for CNAs by CNAs. I'm your host, Wendell, and this is my lovely co-host, Angel.
Hello, and we are here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yay!
And today's show, we will be having a very, very special guest.
That's all right, Angel. And our special guest today is Dr. Randy Clark.
All right, woo-hoo!
Well, Angel, are you ready to start the show?
I sure am.
All right, in that case then, let's go get some
Natural
light.
And not the beer.
And not the beer.
Let's have a conversation. Let's talk CNAs. Let's talk CNAs. Let's talk CNAs. Okay. Let's have a conversation.
Well, Dr. Clark, again, thank you for being on the show. It is a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure to be here.
All right. So, Dr. Clark, you have always been known for being an efficient doctor here in Arizona. And with that said, I made a question for you that 50 CNAs wanted us to ask you, how long have you been a doctor in long-term care?
Okay, so I trained here locally in Arizona at St. Joseph Hospital,
Okay.
and I finished in 2001 and graduated in internal medicine.
Okay.
And then through luck, fate, circumstance, I went directly into long-term care.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I have been doing long-term care ever since, so 17 years.
All right. All right.
And
So
he's all over the valley.
everybody knows Dr. Clark.
Yes.
So I hope that answered you guys' question for Dr. Clark. So Dr. Clark, would you say that natural light has a negative or positive impact on the population that we serve?
Well, absolutely positive.
Absolutely positive.
This is what I would like to say. As human beings, you can understand you need food,
Mm-hmm.
water, sleep, okay? None of those you can live without, right?
That's right.
You need to think of natural light, light that comes from the sun, just as important as food, water, sleep,
Wow.
okay? There is no technology that can mimic sunlight.
Right.
They can make LED lights, they can get similar, and the technology will be there, and it'll be more mainstream, but nothing can replace the sun.
Mhm.
That's right.
Wow. I mean, I know sometimes like during rainy days, maybe those 2-3 days where it's raining, you really start to feel like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go to work. I don't want to get out of bed. You would say that was because of no sunlight?
Who feels good when they go on vacation and they're out in the sun? I do.
I do too. Oh, yeah.
Let's kind of talk about that.
Okay.
Particularly, why do you need sunlight?
Mm-hmm.
Without sunlight, your body cannot make vitamin D.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Vitamin D is associated with all the chronic conditions that we take care of.
Mhm.
Our patients, ourselves, we are vitamin D deficient because we are not out in the light.
Right.
Okay. What I would coach you and ask, particularly CNAs, or let me ask you this, Wendell,
Okay.
Angel. Okay, sunlight has a lot of different forms of radiation coming out of it.
Nice.
Okay. It has ultraviolet light comes from the sun.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys know what type of ultraviolet light helps you make vitamin D?
If I would guess, I would say maybe the blue. Is it a blue or
So there's predominantly two forms of ultraviolet light that come from the sun. Ultraviolet light A
Uh-huh.
and B.
Okay.
Okay. Here's the key point we need to remember in healthcare and taking care of long-term care residents.
Mhm.
Ultraviolet B light is only available between about 10 a.m.
Mhm.
and 2 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay? So you as a human being, if you never go outside between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. on a regular basis,
Mhm.
you'll never make enough vitamin D.
Oh,
Wow.
So the sun rises,
Mhm.
sits high in the sky in the afternoon, and then it sets.
right.
the light that comes from the sun is different at different times of day. And we'll get to why I'm wearing these glasses.
Okay.
So let's just start with, it's the middle of the day, it's very bright. What color is the sky on a clear day? Blue. Okay, that's the obvious answer. So the sun is emitting, we're being exposed to what's called blue light.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Blue light is telling you to be awake.
Okay. Okay.
All right. The sun starts to set. What color do you see at sunset in the sky?
Probably purple or yellow.
Okay. Not bright blue. You'll see purples
Yeah.
and yellows and oranges, more reds.
Right.
Okay. And it's also red when it rises. So it's kind of red in the morning, then it becomes bright blue, and then red. Okay. The light is information to your body, and particularly your brain. Okay. That sets your circadian rhythm. Melatonin. Have you guys heard about that?
Bring that up. Yes.
So melatonin, let's call that the master sleep hormone. It's made in the pineal gland, a very small part of your brain. Okay. The blue light, the bright light, suppresses melatonin, which makes sense. You should be awake during the day.
Right.
Melatonin is suppressed. The light goes down, it becomes red, it becomes dark, and then melatonin production comes up. Okay. So I talk about the light we're sitting under right now. This room, for the audience, we don't have any natural light. There's no windows. It's all basically fluorescent light.
Right.
This fluorescent light, which is very common in the facilities we all work in, is what we call blue light. It's also called junk light.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So this light is emitting mostly blue spectrum, telling my brain that it's new. Okay. It doesn't have the full spectrum, particularly it lacks the red.
Okay.
Okay. The blue light's not only in our fluorescent light, but it's in our phones,
Right.
it's in our televisions, our computers. Okay. So when it's noon and you're outside in the natural light and it's blue, okay, I'm awake. Okay, my circadian rhythm, then the sun sets, okay, my brain says, okay, it's getting dark, I'm making melatonin. What do you think happens to your brain if at 8 o'clock at night you're exposing yourself to blue light again? Okay, you will not be able to make melatonin properly. Okay, so I had a patient, saw her in assisted living. She's not able to get outside much. She goes, Dr. Clark, I cannot sleep. I said, well, tell me what you do at night. I watch television. Okay, so if you have a resident that's watching television, sitting out at the nurse's station under this light, and then they can't sleep properly, okay, your life the next day, they're miserable, they're agitated, okay? So the blue light, you have to be mindful of exposing yourself to blue light, okay? So these funky glasses that I'm wearing, and Wendell's seen me wearing them at work, okay? This brand is particularly made by a company called True Dark. I have no affiliation with them. There's other companies out there, Swantech's another one. You know, they're kind of a more modern version of what we call good old-fashioned blue blockers.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I remember those.
But I wear these particularly more so either early in the morning if I'm in a building with fluorescent light. In particular, I wear these every night when I'm at home. Okay, television's on, the big light is on, okay? I'm trying to control the blue light I'm exposing myself to so that when I go to sleep, I can make melatonin and go to sleep.
Right.
Okay. Now these have a yellow tint. They're more built for the day. Look around for your cells. They can make even darker ones to be even more, block all the blue light. I'm sorry I didn't bring those in. I'll bring those in. Okay. But this is even more important for my CNAs out there that are working nights, that are working the graveyard shift. Your circadian rhythm is getting disrupted big time.
Yes.
Okay. Healthcare workers, myself included, doctors, CNAs, if we work the night shifts, our lifespans are shorter. It's a major stressor. The big stressor is disruption of your circadian rhythm with the light. Okay? So if you're a CNA, you're working at night and you're trying to be able to go to sleep when you get home, think about wearing some of these glasses. Okay? Now this pair costs about $100, okay? If you want to get a cheap pair of $10 sunglasses that are just yellow tinted and wear those when you're under the big bright fluorescent lights, that's fine too.
Okay.
But back to the light. The blue light is messing with your circadian rhythm, your ability to make melatonin. Okay? So back to our residents, what can we do? Okay. We have to help them get outside.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Activities, you know, if you're going, you know, okay, let's walk outside on the way to lunch.
Right.
Okay. If I had to make one request for all my CNAs out there, what time of day should we go outside? If I'm in charge of the world, activities every day at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. is
are
the
outside.
best time.
Between 10 and 1.
Okay, for right, we learned, okay, 10 a.m., that ultraviolet B light is out. It's not gonna be too hot.
Right.
It's in that time where, you know, we gotta get in that time between breakfast and lunch.
Lunch, yes.
Okay, what can we do at 10 a.m.? We can go outside.
So Dr. Clark, how does natural light impact outcomes of dementia and depression?
Okay,
That was a good question.
all right. As a caregiver, a healthcare provider, if you wanna make your job easier, get your residents outside. Okay. They will sleep better. They will be less depressed. Their mood will be better. They'll eat better. When you know, human beings, we're not designed to be inside buildings.
Right.
Okay.
Somebody would put that.
Okay. We really aren't. We've only been living in buildings for a few hundred years. Okay. When you're in a building, typical nursing home that we're in, it's a stressor.
Yes.
The environment, okay, you'll hear this from me, your environment determines your health.
Right.
Okay, if you have unnatural light, unnatural air, that's going to be a major stressor on you. Our patients are way more stressed than we realize. And they're more vulnerable to the environmental factors. Okay? They can't go outside and take their break. Okay? So, and the literature, just go to PubMed, search dementia, light therapy. You will see a ton of articles. I've got a good one we can post that's a review if you want a link.
That'll be good.
For my CNAs out there, okay? Take your breaks outside,
Okay.
okay? You're gonna be stressed in that environment because you're not getting natural light. At our facility, I talked to my social workers. They have the worst office in the building. They have
Yeah.
no windows.
No windows.
So I tell them, go outside every hour for just, even if you can't take just 2 or 3 minutes and get some natural light. Okay? The stress, it builds up.
It does.
Stress.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just tell one of my coworkers, she was so stressed out. And she was like, I need to switch floors. I need to go home. I need to do something. And I was like, just go take a break and take a breather and go outside.
Absolutely.
You know, just go outside, get out of the building. And she was better, you know. So she was like the same person that she was kind of stressed out about. Since she went outside, she had to deal with them, even though she switched. But it was better for her since she went outside.
Light is literally energy for your body. Okay, particularly infrared light that's also coming from the sun, interacts with your mitochondria, that's in your cells, helps you make electrons energy. I feel better when I'm going outside, yes, because your body's making more
Just ready to go.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, Dr. Clark, what is the suggestion for us in order to receive natural light and its positive effects for the body? What would you suggest for us?
Once again, go outside as much as you can.
Go outside.
Think of every reason to go outside. If you're tasked with walking a resident that day, Can you walk them outside? Ask your therapy department, can you do these exercises outside? Activities, hey, can we do this outside? Go outside, outside, outside as much as common sense says so.
Okay.
Okay? We're in Arizona once again, it's the summer, okay, 11 o'clock in the morning may be too hot, or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, well, let's go out at 8 a.m. or come back out at 7 o'clock at night. But go outside.
Go outside.
And you know, that's a good thing to say to the young people, because there's been a lot of young people talking about suicide and depressed and everything, but they're settling on their computers and stuff inside. Back in the day, we go outside. We were young, we did not want to come inside, and it wasn't talk of depression like that. But you know, the younger people nowadays, young kids, you know, they're depressed and everything. Get off the phone, go outside, go play some basketball. You know, so yeah.
So real quick for your kids and all of us, on the newer phones, they have a red light filter that you can add so the phone will be more red. There's a free download for your laptops, Just Get Flux, F-L-U-X.
Oh,
Google
I
that.
heard that before.
I use that on my laptop, and what it does is, if you have to, we all have to do work on our computers late at night, even our children. The screen is red. Okay, so they're getting red light, which won't stimulate their brain so much like the blue light.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay? As best you can, try not to watch television within 2 hours of going to bed. If you watch it, get some glasses like I do. Some of the newer televisions will have the red light filters.
Oh,
Okay.
awesome. So Dr. Clark, you were saying that neighbors or residents, when they watch TV late at night, that's one of the reasons that in the mornings we have such a hard time with it.
Absolutely. Okay. Once again, when you watch television at night, it's emitting blue light. There's no reds. That blue light is telling your brain, okay, it's noon. Stay awake. Don't make melatonin. Okay? People are trying to take melatonin as a supplement. It's way more complicated than that.
Right.
The best thing you can do is to control the light that you expose yourself to, particularly the 2 hours before you want to go to bed.
Okay, that's awesome.
Sounds
Okay?
good.
I don't object if a family member and a resident want to wear some shades at night because they're around all that bright light, that's okay. Now, we're going to have to care plan for that, because I'm worried about them getting up with sunglasses on and falling. That's why I'm
Right, exactly.
Okay, but if they're in bed, and okay, they're going to watch television no matter what, well, let's put some sunglasses on. Okay? Or let's offer them to listen to a book or the radio.
Okay. That'll be
That's a great
Okay,
alternative.
find something else other than that television right in their face too. Some of the places the screens are right there.
Exactly. Yeah. Alrighty. So, how important is natural light to our productivity and our overall well-being?
Once again, you need food, water, sleep. Light is right there.
Natural light.
Okay? You don't get the light, your vitamin D level's down. Natural light helps you make endorphins to feel better. Okay? We've been talking a lot about light hitting your eyes and your brain. Okay, light hits your skin.
Right.
Your skin has a circadian rhythm. Okay? So even if you wear, let's say a resident wears a mask at night to block some of the light, okay, because that's a great tip.
Right.
We can't necessarily control all the light. The hall light's on, the nurse's station light is on. If they want to wear an eye mask, that's great. But even exposing your skin to light has been shown to wake people up, to mess with their circadian rhythm. Okay? So the rooms, when you're trying to sleep, make the room as pitch black as possible.
Okay. All right.
Okay?
Sounds good. Natural light, don't forget that.
For yourself and your residents.
Oh, yes.
Okay?
Yeah, that's what we do at 9 o'clock. All the lights is off at Cornell. And I was like, well, y'all trying to make me go to sleep.
All right? Life is stressful as soon as we wake up every day.
Right.
I don't care what you do. That's just part of being alive.
That's part of
It's
life.
stress. You got to go find food.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to learn to manage the stress that you're exposed to.
Right.
The light is so under-recognized. If you're under, once again, if you're a caregiver and you're under the fluorescent light all day long, And then at the end of your shift, you're like, why am I so stressed
Yes.
and tired and miserable? It's because the light is totally messed with your circadian rhythm.
Wow. Okay, Dr. Clark, do you have any last words you want to tell everybody, the audience?
Your environment determines your health. Okay? Not your genes. Okay? It's your environment. Light is a major component of your environment. Start becoming mindful of that to improve your health and your residents' health.
All right.
Okay? CNAs, to me, are the most important champions to get natural light for our residents. You guys are it. If you guys can't do it, it's not going to happen.
All right.
Okay? So I'm really counting on you guys. That's why I wanted to come here.
All right.
Because we're doing it, I'm seeing, at Maravilla Care Center, I'm seeing many of our staff getting people outside.
All right.
And it's awesome. It's
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Clark. All right, Dr. Clark. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you so
All right.
much.
Appreciate it.
All right. Well, Angel, we had another awesome show today.
We sure did, Wendell. And make sure you check us out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
That's right. And we'd like to thank our special guest, Dr. Clark, for being on the show. And we'd like to thank you for watching the show. And we'll see you next time on
Let's Talk CNAs, where knowledge is empowerment.
Let's have a conversation.
Let's talk CNAs. Let's talk CNAs. Let's talk CNAs. Okay. Let's have a conversation.